Greetings, beautiful people. This video is going to be about the fundamental attribution error. So, the fundamental attribution error is the tendency to overestimate dispositional factors and underestimate situational factors. So, what does that mean? That means that people commonly will observe a situation and automatically attribute the way the situation unfolds to the actor or the person that they perceive is responsible and discount or ignore all of the situational things that contributed to that situation unfolding the way it did. And this is a concept we talk about in social psychology. And the reason why I decided to share it with you all is because today I experienced a situation that I think perfectly demonstrates the fundamental attribution error, and hopefully you'll get the lesson or the takeaway at the end. So, this morning I'm headed to school with my daughter, and, we're driving down the road. We get to the end of a street, we stop, put the blinker on, and there's lots of cars coming. And so we're sitting there for quite a while. And at some point, it looks like there's a delay and there's no cars coming. But from where I was positioned, I could see clearly that there was another car coming, and it really wouldn't have been safe for me to try to take it, to zoom across two lanes, really three lanes, to get to the other side. And I clearly had my blinker on. So I made a decision to wait until that car passed. Meanwhile, the car behind me, I guess they couldn't see that there was a car coming, and they decided to start honking me out, And I was just like, you know what? I was just so annoyed initially. But again, remember emotional intelligence, deep breaths. Remember, this is just one situation. Okay, so, I immediately look back with a face of, frustration or disgust or a combination of the two. And I didn't do anything. And eventually I was able to go ahead and turn and move on with my life. So how does this relate to the fundamental attribution error? Well, one of the reasons why people make this fundamental attribution error is because of the position that they are occupying. So me, as the actor in this scenario, I could clearly see all these situational factors. I could see that there were cars coming and that it was an unsafe decision to, or unsafe move to cross, to try to just go ahead and take it, when I could have clearly been hit by an oncoming car, and that would have been bad for me. It would have been bad for my daughter. It just wasn't a good situation. Meanwhile, the car behind me, they couldn't see this car coming. All they could see was that I was slowing them down and I was in their way and I was an obstacle that they wanted to be removed. And that's why they honked their horn, most likely, to let me know, get out of the way. But clearly, they would much prefer to not witness a terrible accident than to, just wait a few extra seconds. We're talking like 30 extra seconds for that last car to go by. So what's the takeaway? What's the story? Okay, first of all, psychology is everywhere. So, if you're one of these people hating on psychology, get over it. But the other thing I would say is that, if you have a little patience and if you remember that not everybody sees the world the way you see it, and that we are operating often with different perspectives. And sometimes it takes taking the other person's perspective in order to manage our emotions, and even though I didn't title this video Emotional Intelligence because I'm really trying to talk about the fundamental attribution error, I want to note how it ties in. Because I'm aware that this person couldn't see my perspective, and that even though their idiotic behavior was frustrating or annoying to me, I was also able to think, wow, they're probably frustrated or annoyed because they think I'm taking too long and that I won't go. And, it was inconsequential. I drove off. I didn't let that one little situation bother me. I continued on and had a rest of the day that was, relatively fabulous. But I made a note to myself to consider including this in my wheel of stories. as I'm trying to become consistent with posting videos. So that's it.